Hey everybody, John King with Summit Funding. Welcome to my impromptu live weekday updates. We have a Christmas gift that is coming right now for people who are on the waiting list, and I wanted to share that information and get it out as quickly as I possibly could. So quick recap, we are up on the end of the second extension for everybody who got their Dream for All voucher back at the end of June. So their extensions are officially, those who extended are officially good through December 25th. They actually added one more day so that those people have until December 26th, because obviously it's not fair to have it expire on a holiday. But there are, as of some information I got earlier this week, there are 300 people out of the original 1,700 winners who are stagnant, who have not used their money. So we're talking about approximately 20%, just under 20% of the original voucher winners have not redeemed their voucher. Now, CalHFA did a survey, and I again just kind of heard anecdotally through the grapevine that the single biggest reason why people did not use their voucher yet is because they're waiting for interest rates to drop. And I got to tell you, every one of us are waiting for interest rates to drop, but unfortunately, those people, they have a deadline. And they need to move now. And I've got a lot of clients. I have a handful right now that have that expiration date, and they're trying hard to get into contract on a home before Christmas. So they've got 2 weeks left to get into contract. And then the next round of waitlisters are going to get their shot. So we have 300 stagnant vouchers that will go into circulation in about 2 weeks. That is great news. Now, I don't know what regions these are in. It might not be 300 because some of those people may have may have used their voucher between now and then and reserved something. But the good news is we are going to get a lift of, again, about 20% of the vouchers that were originally issued are going to expire in 2 weeks. Now, there was a bit of confusion. As a matter of fact, I perpetuated some of it, and I realized what happened. CalHFA's system was automatically created to generate an email allowing you to extend 30 days before your voucher expired. Well, it appears that they sent that even to people who, at the end of November, were 30 days from their second voucher expiration dates. And CalHFA never intended for them to go past that second expiration date. So I had some of my clients reach out to me and say, John, we got an email saying we could extend our voucher for another time, a third time. So a second time, really. So they got the original voucher, they extended once, and that got them through December 25th. Well, on November 25th, they got an email saying, hey, you can extend again. Some people accidentally got that email. Some people who acted quickly got an extended voucher issued that gave them through March 25th. And CalHFA said, look, it was a computer glitch. We're not going to pull that back from the people who got them. So there are some lucky people who got an extension that they didn't intend to give. But we now have the answer. How many extensions will CalHFA give on Dream for All? 1. You get your original 3 months, and then you get 3 more months. So you have 6 months from start to finish to find a home, get in contract, and reserve your money, or the money goes to someone else. So there's a huge opportunity for waitlisters kicking off the first of the year. You really don't have a lot of flexibility to wait for interest rates to drop. If you don't want to use it, that's okay. Don't buy, but release your voucher for somebody else to use. But for those of you who are on the wait list, it's giving you an opportunity now heading into the new year. And I think as we head into spring, we're going to see more competition. So ideally, you're going to want to execute that voucher right away. You're going to want to, if you're low on the waiting list right now, this is likely going to be your opportunity. If you have not talked to your lender recently, give me a call. I would love the opportunity to talk with you. You can scan the QR code above, and you can get my contact information, download my mobile app. It's got everything that you need, education, etc. But definitely, it is a Christmas gift coming. The vouchers that we expected to have, I think there were about 150 vouchers that were not extended on October 1st, September 25th. So those people, about 150 of them got moved up the list and off of the waiting list. We've continued to have incremental people moving off of the waiting list, but we probably have close to 300 spots that are about to get issued. So now is your chance. I want to be really clear, as I always have said, if you have a lender you love and they're good at what they do, stick with that lender. But if you don't, I am interviewing for the job of being your lender, whether that's for Dream for All or something else. And I've got a sneak peek for you. There is something else coming. Cal HAFA has discussed, they haven't released it officially, but they have discussed the fact that they're going to do an enhancement to the My Home program. That is likely to come out the first part of next year. So we're only a month away from the first part of next year. So if you are frustrated because you didn't get your Dream for All voucher selected, or you were on the wait list and you're pretty far down the wait list and you're just not feeling like you're going to get it, let's be clear. The next Dream for All money, there's no way it's coming any sooner than a year from now. That's right. Because the money that would be available for this spring, because remember, we had money spring of 2023, we had money spring of 2024, but that was all based on the budget that was passed the prior summer. So spring of 2025 is based on the budget that was passed in summer of 2024. There was no money set aside in summer of 2024 for Dream for All. So you have no ability to get that. Ramela, I see your questions and I'll get to them in just a second. So there's no money set aside in spring of 2024, in summer of 2024. The 2024-2025 budget has $0 for Dream for All, zero. So there's no money coming next spring. There's no money coming in the next 6 months. The soonest we're going to hear there's money coming is when the budget is passed July 1st of 2025. And Cal HAFA is going to take time then to get that money into a lottery. I'm sure they're going to use another lottery system. They're going to need to announce it and promote it. It took them 9 months from summer of 2023 to March of 2024 when they finally opened up the portals. Matter of fact, it was in April of 2024. So it took them 9 months from the time that they got the money released by the state before they could actually get the money into vouchers, actually not even vouchers, get people into the lottery. And it was essentially a year after the money was allocated that they actually were able to let people start buying homes. So we're not seeing any more Dream for All money. My guess, probably a year and a half from now, is the soonest we have a chance of seeing it. And that's only if the budget includes money in the summer of 2025, will we have a shot at having some money in early 2026. So why do I tell you all of that? Because for those of you who are not waitlisters right now on the low end of the wait list, reminder, 300 people approximately are going to get vouchers at the first of the year, approximately, because there's 300 voucher holders that are about to expire. But for those of you who are too high on the wait list, or you didn't get selected at all, then you're holding out hope for another Dream for All program. There is an opportunity coming with the enhanced My Home program. So the enhanced My Home program is going to give you what sounds like double the assistance of the current My Home program. Currently, My Home is a 3 or 3.5% down payment assistance loan that you make no monthly payments on, and you don't share any of your equity. Like Dream for All is great, but you got to share the growth of the home with the state of California. With My Home, you don't share any of your equity. So this is going to be a My Home program that's going to give you what is looking to be somewhere between 5 and 6% of the purchase price. So double what we were looking at before. That means that you could cover down payment and closing costs, and you can get into a home with literally no money out of pocket. Huge opportunity, great opportunity. And so if you're in a situation where you're saying, gosh, the only way I'm going to buy a home is with Dream for All, recognize that you're going to have a higher monthly payment with anything other than Dream for All. But there are new programs that are coming online. Hopefully you're hearing it from me first. I want to be your resource for any type of a loan. And so if you have questions about this, stay tuned, watch this channel, subscribe if you're not already subscribed so that I can get you more information about it when it comes out. So I'm going to take a couple minutes to take some questions. I do have a couple of questions from Ramela. So the question, and then if you have questions, post them now. Otherwise, we'll be wrapping up as soon as I get done with these questions. All right. So Ramela says, what if I don't get a loan after selecting a home? Can I switch the property after voucher expiration? So, and then you said signed for one. So I'm going to assume, and I'm going to answer your question. I'm not really clear on it. So if you don't get a loan, there's two reasons why you wouldn't get a loan after you signed for a property. Either you didn't qualify for the mortgage, or you don't want the property because of something about the property. So if you didn't qualify for a mortgage, that's a whole nother problem. If your credit score is not good enough, if your income isn't good enough, if rates are too high for the payment to qualify, then you're in trouble. And you're not going to qualify. I mean, yes, I guess technically you would switch to a lower priced property at that point. And the same thing would happen if you found a home and it's great and everything is good, but the home inspection came back and you weren't willing to accept the condition of the property. So the rule is, as long as your original voucher expiration date has not passed, you can get a new voucher reissued. But if you are at the expiration date, so if you go into contract right now and your voucher expires on December 26th, you need to do your inspections right away. And you need to cancel and reissue a voucher and find a replacement home all before December 26th. But if you end up in contract on something on December 24th, and we reserve that money for you on December 24th, and you find out, and by the way, your voucher expiration is December 26th, and you find out on January 3rd, when the home inspection comes back, that there's problems with this home, you can cancel, but you cannot switch properties because your voucher was used for that property. When anybody currently who cancels, they have to get a new voucher issued. So your voucher has expired. Your voucher was issued for and used for that property. You've passed the expiration date, and now you're saying, hey, I want to cancel this property and switch to another one, but it's too late because your voucher has expired. So that's why they gave you 90 days. It's why they extended and gave you 6 months, because they're saying, hey, there's lots of things that could have happened. And so we don't want anybody saying, well, yeah, but on the 89th day, I got into contract, and then there was a problem with it on the 95th day, and so I had to cancel, and now you guys wouldn't let me use the money. Well, that's why they said 90 days. And then they ended up giving you 3 more months to say, look, now nobody can complain that we didn't give them a chance to find another property. But at some point in time, they have to cut you off. And so they're cutting you off. If you have not found a property and redeemed your voucher by the expiration date, then your voucher is gone. If you redeem the voucher, but you end up not getting the loan, not completing the purchase on that home, that voucher cannot be used on another home. You have to get a new voucher issued, and you're past your expiration date. So now you can ask CalHFA, maybe they will. I don't know what their rule is, but everything I've read and seen says, hey, once you're past the expiration date, they're not going to issue a new voucher. I'm 100% positive the voucher you have cannot be transferred from one property to another. I'm 100% positive that once you redeem a voucher for a property and you cancel that property, then you have to get a brand new voucher issued with a brand new voucher number. So that I'm 100% positive, and I have zero expectation that CalHFA is going to allow you to transfer that to a new voucher, to get a new voucher, because your expiration date didn't change. We are past your expiration date. All right, so I've got another couple of questions here. Can I lock the rate before 60 days of the escrow date? If the close of escrow date is in February, I don't get a chance to lock the rate by January 20th. How can I know if I get a loan after rate buy down, as nobody can predict how much the rate will be in January? Also, if rate lock is not before 15 days. Okay, so I'm actually going to share CalHFA's website and go through this with you because it's a great question. And so if we look, by the way, those of you who are joining right now, the most important thing that I talked about was that there are 300, as of early this week, late last week, there were 300 stagnant vouchers, people who got their vouchers at the beginning of the original release at the end of June, and they are expiring December 26th with no ability to extend. So some of those people will get into contract over the next 2 weeks, but we're going to have close to 300 people on the wait list that are now going to get vouchers. So a huge bump, almost 20% of the original issued number is going to be reissued to people who are waiting on the wait list. So really, really good news for those of you who are just joining right now. So I'm going on, let's share my screen here. I'm going on the CalHFA website, and I am going to, let's go right here and share. So when you go to calhfa.ca.gov, let me get rid of this banner here. Banner, go away. Come back another day. All right. So I'm going to get rid of your questions, go away. There you go. All right. So I'm going to go right here. And even though it's under lenders and real estate agents, there's no password required. You can go there even if you're not a lender or real estate agent. So you go to rates and reservations and it says, hey, here's the loan reservation process. And it says that you can lock an interest rate. Now, technically, so it says right here, at the time of reservation, the lender will have the option to lock or float. Okay. If the loan is reserved with the float option, you must lock within 90 days if it's a resale property. You must lock within 120 days on new construction. Okay. At the time of rate lock, we lock for 60 days. Most lenders, that's 60 days from the day you lock to the day I finish the transaction with CalHFA, which can take 3 or 4 weeks after you get the keys. So most lenders say, hey, 30 of those 60 days belong to me. So that 60-day lock with CalHFA is really a 30-day timeline for you to close escrow. And then it gives me 30 more days to get it sold to CalHFA. So when we lock the loan, you're getting 30 days to close. And so your question was, can I lock the interest rate before 60 days of close of escrow? Well, let me be clear. You're really locking 30 days before close of escrow because no lender is going to give you all 60 of those days because we still need time to get it sold to CalHFA and to Lakeview, who's their servicing partner. So now we go down and say, okay, well, what if we wanted to do an extended lock? And so if we wanted to do an extended lock, they offer extensions in 15-day increments. So if you said, hey, I want to lock, again, you said your close of escrow date is February 20th, right? So if you are closing on February 20th, then right now, if you wanted to lock today, you are 75 days, approximately 70 days, 68 days prior to the close of escrow date. So you have 30 days that you get out of CalHFA's 60 that they gave, which means you would need an extra 15, 30, actually 45, 45 days on top of the 30 that you get automatically. So that's going to give you enough time if you want to lock right now. But it means you're going to pay more in fee. You're going to pay 0.375% more in fee to get the rate locked for a longer period of time. Now, why do they charge you more in fee? Because the bank has to wait to start collecting interest. So they're setting aside the interest rate for you now, and they're saying, I agree, no matter what interest rates do between now and then, I'm going to give you this rate. Now, you're going to think to yourself, well, okay, John, but if rates go down, I should be able to get the lower rate. But that's not fair to the bank. That's not fair to CalHFA and Lakeview because they set aside the money right now. They don't know where rates are going to go tomorrow, and neither do you. And they're not going to let you out of the deal to say, well, yeah, go ahead, you can get the lower interest rate because they bought an insurance policy against rates changing. Okay, because if rates change, if rates go, well, I'm trying to think of a simple way to explain this, but the simplest thing is if rates change, the bank is potentially going to lose money. Now, if rates go up is really where the bank's going to lose money because they promised you today's rate of whatever, 6.5, and rates went to 7. And so now they're losing money. So they bought an insurance policy that says, hey, if rates go up, we get paid off insurance. But if rates go down, we have to pay that insurance fee. So the bank's not going to let you out of your rate lock because they're going to say, look, you decided that you wanted to take this rate lock early. You didn't want to chance it. That's cool. I'm okay with that. But we just bought an insurance policy as the lender against rates going up. If rates go up, we lost money on the interest rate, but we made money on the insurance policy and we break even. If rates go down, we make money on the interest rate, but we lose money on the insurance policy. We break even. So the bank is not making money if rates go down. Everybody thinks, I'm sorry, if rates go up. Everybody thinks, sorry, they go down. See, it's a little bit backwards. But if you lock in right now at 6.5 and you're like, well, gosh, rates are now at 6, the bank is making extra money on me. No, we're not. Because we bought an insurance policy to protect us against rates changing. Okay. Now, this is an interesting one, which is that the original poster is saying, our lender is saying we can lock the rate 15 days of escrow only. That's why I said most lenders give you 30 of those 60 days and they hold back 30 of them. That lender may take longer to actually process a sale to CalHFA on average. And so they want 45 of those 60 days. CalHFA gives 60 days when you lock. It's up to the bank on how many of those days they give you. So if your lender says you only get 15 days, it means they're keeping 45 of it because they don't want the chance of losing money. Okay. So every lender can apply that differently. We give 30 days to you and 30 days to us, but you can always get an extension. So the next question that was asked is 0.375 of what? Of the loan amount charged as a fee. So let's do some math together. So if you are buying a home, and let's just say you're buying a $700,000 home. Okay, so $700,000, you're using Dream for All, which means you're getting $140,000 in Dream for All assistance, and you're borrowing 80% of that number, which means you're borrowing $560,000. So what this says is, hey, if you want, so in your case, you'd actually need to go 60 days of an extension because they're only giving you 15. So you would have to say, okay, in order to do this, I'm going to pay 0.5% as a one-time fee on $560,000, which is times 0.5%. And that is $2,800. So for a sorry, I was sharing, my screen did not share the calculator. Anyway, sorry, I didn't realize the calculator wasn't sharing, but I was showing a calculator on my screen. It is your purchase price is $700,000, your loan amount is $560,000, and you are paying CalHFA this cumulative extension cost. This is a one-time fee that is a percentage of your loan amount. So on a $560,000 loan amount, it's $2,800 or 0.5 point in extra fee. So your lender should be willing to let you lock your rate now, but you have to decide, are you okay with today's rate? You don't get to say later, oh, well, I locked my rate. And I know what you collected that extra fee, which means you guys made extra money on me. We didn't. And then say, oh, by the way, rates have dropped. I want the benefit of rates dropping. You don't get to do that. So if you don't want the risk, you can lock early, but it's going to cost you more in fee. All right, so your next question, hopefully this helps answer your questions. Let me stop sharing that screen. Okay, so your next question, can I buy down the rate from CalHFA directly or through lender only? It would be possible. You can't do anything with CalHFA, but the lender is not picking the buy down cost. CalHFA is. So you would contact your lender, and I to keep going down the comments, for a permanent rate lock. So you would contact your lender and say, hey, if I locked today, or once you lock, based on that rate lock, what are my options for buying down the rate? The lender contacts CalHFA. CalHFA tells you what the numbers are. It is the same regardless of what lender you're working with. It's based on the day you locked. So if you're not locked and you're trying to figure out how much can I buy down my interest rate, then you are contacting the lender, and hopefully they have a good enough relationship with CalHFA that they can say, hey, what are the rate buy down options if somebody locked today? I've been successful every time I've asked that question. They've given me numbers so that I can quote how much it's going to be to buy down the interest rate. So but that's going to be different tomorrow. So if you don't lock today, even if the rate is the same, so people don't understand, they think that buy downs are fixed proportionate numbers, and they're not. It's a complicated market dynamic, and please forgive me because it sounds like I just don't want to explain it to you, but I don't have the time in this forum and in this format today to explain it. But what I'll tell you very simply is it's like gas prices. If you look at the price of diesel versus the price of unleaded in different years, sometimes diesel's more expensive than unleaded, sometimes it's less expensive. The truth is diesel and unleaded all come from the same barrel of oil. So it has to do with the price of the barrel of oil and the price of refining the oil. But there's lots of factors that go into, well, maybe diesel went up 10 cents last night, but unleaded only went up 2 cents. Maybe diesel dropped by 5 cents and unleaded went up by a penny. So that concept says, hey, interest rates at 6.5 are worth more or less every day. Interest rates at 6% also move up or down every day, and sometimes they don't move the same direction in lockstep with each other. That is a very complicated way of saying it. What I said was accurate, but I know it's probably not the simplified way to say it. But the simple answer is the buy down is not determined by the lender. It's determined by CalHFA. It's determined on the date that you are locked, and it is different. So if you're getting an idea of what a buy down would look like today, and tomorrow the rate on CalHFA's website is the same, the buy down is not necessarily going to be the same. All right, next question. But when I approach CalHFA, they're saying you should approach through lender because you can't talk to CalHFA. So forgive me, I tried to say that at the beginning. It is through CalHFA, but CalHFA won't talk to you. So hopefully you have a lender. If you don't, I'm interviewing for the job. Let me put that banner back up so you know how to get a hold of me if you want me to take that job. So that's how you get a hold of me. Okay, but CalHFA won't talk to you about numbers at all. You have to call your lender. Your lender calls CalHFA and gives you the information back. CalHFA does not deal direct with consumers on anything. Like they're answering phones and answering questions for you in general, but when it comes to do I qualify, what's my rate, how does that work, they're not the provider dealing with you directly. That's why they have lenders like me who are independent of CalHFA, but we are there to provide the services to you to help you make it happen. So you have to contact your lender. Your lender reaches out to CalHFA. Okay. If your lender's unwilling to do that, unable to do that, you probably have the wrong lender. Again, I'm interviewing for the job, but hopefully that helps answer your question. You're in a complicated situation because you're trying to close escrow, 70 days from now. Your lender is, okay. So you're buying with a builder. That makes sense. No outside lenders. I get it. I understand. But the fact of the matter is that lender's being conservative because they're making you pay more money for a longer lock. Most lenders are giving you 30 of those 60 days. It is what it is. Every lender has a different view on it. They may be giving you credits for working with the lender in-house, and I understand that. Like, we can't do those kind of credits, so the builder subsidizes their lender. But the point is you need to contact them because CalHFA will not talk to you. They won't give you any numbers. So just as a repeat, because we had more people that have popped on, the big news for today, Christmas gift for those who are on the wait list, 300 stagnant people who got the original voucher back at the end of June that as of last week had not used their voucher, and CalHFA is not giving a second extension. So we're going to see close to 300 people right after Christmas that are going to get a Christmas gift and they're going to get a voucher. So if you are on the wait list and you're on the lower end of the wait list, your time might be here and you need to get ready to strike while the iron is hot. We've learned through patterns that of what's happened so far. CalHFA is giving everybody one extension and one extension only. And I talked about the fact that CalHFA is coming out with an enhanced My Home program, which is likely to double the amount of assistance available through My Home. So if you're not a Dream for All winner, you're waiting and unsure when Dream for All is coming back out, we're looking at probably at least a year and a half before it comes out again. And that's if we're lucky. The enhanced My Home may be your best option. And it is absolutely my pleasure to answer your questions. So thank you, gang. If you have any other questions, feel free to post them right now. Otherwise, I simply want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Be on the lookout. I'm launching a few more YouTube channels. I've got one right now that I just launched that is about refinancing. So any of you that have a Dream for All loan and you are thinking about, gosh, when should I refinance? How does refinancing work? I have a YouTube channel that I have launched. I'm just getting content into that channel. If it's not there already, I'll make sure that today it is added in there. That we've got the I see your question here, MJJ. So give me a second. So actually, I'll put that up right now. So MJJ says, wow, came from 71 on the wait list and now number 11. I think it's going to be a very Merry Christmas for you. Again, depends on what region that you're in. But the fact is that we are seeing a huge number of people that are going to get vouchers. So that's really good news. And remember, just because there's 300 statewide, your region might only have 10 people who haven't used their voucher, which means you go from 11 to number 1. I don't want to rain on your parade. I think being number 11 in any region, you got a really good shot given the fact that there's 300 being offered statewide or close to 300 that should be released. But point is, launching a channel that you'll be able to see on, Sacramento area. So I think you got a really good chance of getting a voucher at Christmas. Launching a channel that is on refinancing. You'll be able to find these as I launch them on the home screen of all of my YouTube channels. There'll be a spot for other channels, and you can click there to see my other channels. The two other channels that I'm about to launch, one of them has to do with renovating homes. Don't have it launched yet, don't have a name for it yet, but the truth is, there's a lot of people who are buying homes that are not what they expected, and they hope to be able to buy a starter home and move out of it. And the market just isn't allowing for that. There's not a lot of inventory. So there's a lot of people out there that you may know that are thinking, man, I wish I could do work on my home and I don't know how to pay for it. So I'm going to create a channel completely dedicated to buying homes that you need to renovate or refinancing the home that you're in. And then I'm also going to create a channel that's going to talk about, I'm trying to figure out a name here, but basically alternative ways to qualify when the bank says no. So I'm thinking of a name, something along the lines of, so they said you don't qualify. That's not going to be the name, but that's kind of the concept is, hey, how can I help show you different programs? There's a lot of programs out there for self-employed people, because that's the biggest area of people not qualifying is you're self-employed and you have a great CPA that shows you how to write off a lot of stuff on your taxes. And the more you write off, the harder it is for you to qualify for a mortgage. And you're told most of the time, oh, you got to refile your taxes and get more income. Well, guess what? More income in your taxes means more taxes paid to the IRS, which takes money out of your pocket, either because you had to write a lump sum check to the IRS, or now you got to make monthly payments to them that gives you less money to pay for your down payment. So I have options that help people deal with that without having to file more in taxes. And I'm going to create a channel dedicated to alternative ways to help people qualify for a mortgage. Got one more question. Can I down pay more when I refinance DPA Dream for All in the future? Yes. So when you refinance the Dream for All, and I'm going to talk about this a lot on my refi channel as well, which is already there. I just don't know if it's actually on my YouTube channel home screen, but if it's not, it will be very soon. But you can click the link there, and I'll be adding more videos. But I'm going to talk about when you refinance Dream for All, you're not getting another Dream for All loan. So you can pay more down, because the only time Cal HAFA has the ability to restrict how much you put as down payment is when you take out the original loan. But when you refinance it, you can pay extra down. Now, the first thing you should do is pay off the state. If you have enough money to pay off the state, pay off the state, because they're getting 20% of your appreciation, and that's costing you a lot of money in the long run. So step one, pay off the state. Step two, if you have the ability to pay down, you can pay down as much as you want. When you refinance, Cal HAFA cannot stop you from doing that. You're not doing a loan through Cal HAFA. By the way, I'm also interviewing to be your lender if you are buying new construction and you can't use anybody except the builder's lender. Well, guess what? When you go to refinance, you can. As a matter of fact, most builders, lots of builders lenders, a good number of builders lenders don't do refinancing. They focus only on purchase, and the builder wants them focusing all their resources on that. So I'm interviewing for that job too. So subscribe to my refi channel. I'll keep you updated on there as well. Again, if the link isn't there, it'll be there this afternoon. I'm going to jump on as soon as I get off of this call. So guys, I appreciate it. I'm about to wrap up. So if you have another question or you're typing, type quick, or say, hang on, John, while you type your question. Otherwise, I appreciate you following me. I appreciate you sharing my channels as I grow these other channels and sharing those with other people. I hope everybody has a great holiday season. Merry Christmas. And hopefully it's a great holiday for more people like MJJ who are going to get vouchers before the end of the year. And just make sure that you're striking soon. Because although interest rates are higher, you have the trade-off that as rates go down, more competition is going to come in, and that's going to cause house prices to go up and make it even harder to get your offer accepted. And people are afraid of things that they're not used to. Dream for All is something that sellers and listing agents aren't used to. So they're afraid of that loan program. So I had a lot of people who had a hard time getting offers accepted because sellers didn't want to deal with this. They'd rather deal with a straightforward loan that didn't have to go through an extra entity of the state of California. So you're best off buying when other people are scared and not buying, because sellers right now are desperate. There's a lot of sellers right now who are getting very desperate, very scared. Interest rates have continued to move up. They've come back down some, but interest rates haven't come down as much as anybody thought. And a lot of buyers just don't want to bother shopping for homes and buying during the holiday season. A lot of people are waiting until the inauguration and seeing what happens with the new president. Let's put the emphasis on the right syllable. And it's really creating an environment where there's opportunity right now while everybody else is sitting on the sidelines waiting. All right. His case says, I lost other offer 3 times and eventually got one on the end. Well, congratulations on getting that last offer accepted. That's the state of the market. There are just not as many people listing their home for sale. There are still a good number of buyers. So if you're buying a well-priced home in a desirable neighborhood, they're going really quick with multiple offers. But there's still a lot of homes that are sitting on the market. There's still a lot of homes right now that if you're willing to compromise a little bit, if you're willing to make some concessions on what you're looking for, there's some great deals. You can get some seller credits, and it's a really good opportunity to buy. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate your time. I'll see you again tomorrow for my live stream with my market update, as I do every single Friday. And I appreciate you listening. Hope everybody has an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.